What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B, watching DaveBeyondTV, where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And today we talking about auras, you know what I'm saying? Auras. Y'all might already know kind of a little bit about auras and stuff like that, but I wanted to talk about it because it was a topic of conversation that came up. And it's important for Scorpio season, you know what I'm saying, in general, just for you to be aware too of different energies you might be in that you might not understand why you get certain reactions from certain people when, you know, on one end, yeah, certain things ain't really your responsibility to always keep up with, like the reactions of others and things of that nature, not always yours to be concerned or you know, tasked with trying to understand, because other people got their own shit going on. But you know, when we talk about auras and stuff like that, this is in part energy you give off too. Now, an aura is developed whenever we are in a, you know, it's kind of like this, right? Scorpios are most notable for aura energy because it's fixed water. So fixed water is being fixated in a specific emotion. It starts as a feeling. Feelings are something that we get, right? Feelings come and go, but the feelings that we decide to hone in on become emotions. And these emotions, these things a lot of times become closely knit to, you know, it's like, if you want to equate it to the moon, you know, your reaction to responses. And we also know the moon damn near starts to become your identity in a sense, you know what I'm saying, because it's what you're comfortable with, it's what you react and respond to, and that reaction and that response, a lot of times, you know, it shows you kind of like the truth of yourself. You know, the sun can make it look like however it wants to look, but the moon always going to show you exactly what you be on, you know what I'm saying? So no matter how much you want to make it look like one thing, the moon always going to it's always going to make itself known based upon what it chooses to pick up on as far as a reaction, because that's what's most close to your heart, right? And really your heart, I say the heart, but the heart is really just an organ. It's just close to your feelings, your soft spots. And these things could also be your insecurities and the things you hold dear to your comfortability level in your subconscious as well. So when we talk about an aura, right, an aura is developed whenever we spend a lot of time in a certain emotion. The reason for it is because we know also when it comes to emotions and feelings, the moon, like, or not the moon, but when it comes to emotions and feelings, a lot of times, even when we talk about things like manifestation and shit like that, right? Manifestation and things of that nature, things manifest based upon the state of being you in, aka what you're choosing to react and respond to. Everything comes down to choices, you know, like I said in that last video, you know, and what you choose to respond to is what you choose to give your power away to. So that's why you have to be mindful of these things. But see, when it comes to auras, the thing about it is, let's go back to Scorpio, right? Scorpio is like also the energy of deep passions. It's a Mars sign. So when you think about fixated emotions surrounding deep passions and motivations and things of that nature, this creates an energy. Like everything we do creates a certain energy. So especially in this case, right, we're dealing with a energy. Whenever you're in a feeling or you're deeply passionate about something and you're reacting and responding to it, it doesn't matter what it is. It creates a certain energy behind it. And this is like magic as far as anything you do. This is why, like, if you really want to get the most out of something, it's like they say, you get out what you put in. So even when it comes to emotions, and that's why, like, you got to be mindful when you're going about your day, because there could be a small thing that happened that piss you off, but you put a lot of energy behind it. The universe doesn't understand the difference between, oh, I'm not really, you know what I'm saying, oh, that was just something small. The universe just picks up on your vibration and your energy. So if your energy in reaction to that small thing is very dramatic and as if the world is ending, you're going to manifest and attract other scenarios that either confirm that or accelerate that. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to manifest things that match that, because that's how it works. You attract what it is you're giving off as far as fumes. If you're dealing with something serious, but you still choose to maintain a light state of being, chances are you'll manifest a light scenario or a light solution, or a solution that allows that scenario to play out in a lighter manner. So this is why there's like magic behind different things as far as you going through different things in life. Like sometimes you might want to do the opposite. You might be going through something mundane, but choose to hype up the situation for the sake of you getting a lot out of it on the back end that's positive. You know what I'm saying? And even Dolo had mentioned this in a video previously, or a live stream previously. And it's that type of energy where it's like that's how you quote unquote psych the universe up, if you will. But when it comes to auras, sometimes auras are things we create without even being too mindful of it. Auras, and depending on how you live your life, anything you do behind closed doors can create an aura. And this is why during the Each One Teach One class, Mooney Mercury, baby, he dropped a real gem. He was like, when you're around people, act like you alone. And when you're alone, act like you're around people. And, you know, of course, he's got his own interpretation of that. But what I took from that is that, you know, when you're amongst other individuals and stuff like that, right, you should be playing out energies of being your true self, regardless of anybody looking at you any kind of way. But when you're alone, you should act as if others are watching you, because it's almost like a certain energy you put upon yourself it's almost like to demonstrate the energy you want to be. It's like you're being it's like around others, you're being who you are. But when you're by yourself, you are still being who you are, but just it's almost like a preparation. You know what I'm saying? You're preparing to be around other people. So it's almost like you're kind of conditioning yourself to know how to act and behave. And see, what happens is you manifest a good character for yourself, because, you know, a lot of people put on a good face, like I was just saying before, but who they are behind closed doors is a whole different animal. And like, I hate to bring other, like, you know what I'm saying, talk about celebrities and shit, but I think it's actually funny how this is playing out. Because like, if y'all keeping up with like the Dwight Howard situation, where, you know what I'm saying, he going through court allegations and court situations about him meeting up with a dude or something like that. And like, it's not about you know, his situation like that, but man, I got a lot of things. So I watch if y'all know who Cameron is, right? Killer Cam, y'all know what I'm saying, like Dipset shit. And y'all know who Mace is, right? They got a talk show or a podcast called It Is What It Is. And on the show, you know what I'm saying, Mace was making a joke and he was laughing. And he was like, you know what I'm saying, we need to stop saying that we don't care what people do in their own time, because it matters. And that's so true in a sense, because even though, yeah, everybody got their own business. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, mind your business. You know, what people do on their own time in the dark, that's between them and God. But when you interacting with people, you do gotta kind of like, it matters on a level. You know what I'm saying, what other people choose to do behind closed doors, because it always finds a way to seep out into the external world. And if you're not careful, being around somebody who do certain things behind closed doors that you might not be aware of, you might not know why you picking up on certain energies and certain auras, but you picking up on it. And it can manifest as other things not working with that partnership, or that person being in your life causing havoc in areas that you might not even be mindful of. It could be small things, like every time you hang out with this friend, something with your car go wrong. And it's like, it could be as small as them in their own time, certain thoughts and feelings that they be in manifest whenever they rub off on you whenever y'all hang out. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know I said all this and I still ain't really give y'all a definition of what an aura is, but an aura is just an energy that you pick up on that might not be on the surface, visible on the surface. So it's an energy you pick up on. Here's the thing about auras. It's like, you, no matter what you're in, if you have an energy behind it, people are able to pick up that aura. So this is why, again, going back to what Mooney has said, and just adding on that, it's important to be mindful of what you are doing behind closed doors and what you choose to do in your own time. And you should be mindful of how it may affect not only you know, the other things you do in the light, but also the other people that you involve yourself with when things, you know, hit the fan. You might not give a fuck though. You know what I'm saying? You might not give a fuck about other people in that sense, but you know, it matters. It plays out, and it's like it permeates. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not realize, like, you really out here, you know, throwing other people off in ways that you might not even be privy to. You know what I'm saying? Just off the strength of you being you know, ignorant to it. But it's like, it's very important. And also just for yourself to understand, when you are participating with people, it is important to kind of have an idea or try, like, and here's the other part of auras, right? The disclaimer, because here's the part where auras can go too far. See, an aura, auras you might pick up on, just because you pick up on the energy, you might not have the realistic, or you might not be able to pinpoint the physical or the logical explanation as to what you're picking up on. An aura, all you catching is vibrations and energy, but how you decipher it is entirely based upon what you know and what you're aware of. And this is something you got to keep in mind for other people. So when other people pick up your aura, based upon what they're into, they're going to come to certain conclusions. Now, this is where things get tricky. Things can get very la-la landy, very, very straitjacket-like, because just because you in a certain energy, see, you do what you do because of your reasons, but other people pick up on your energy and they take it and run with it. So this is why a Scorpio, right, might be deemed a hoe or promiscuous, or like they into, like, you know what I'm saying, you might like Scorpio, you might have gone through situations where you kicking it with some, or so anybody with Scorpio energy. And this goes for anybody. Like, I'm using Scorpio as an example, but this could be anybody. And females, y'all know what I'm talking about. Certain way you move or something like that. It's like you could be kicking it with somebody and they can start to, let's say y'all just kicking it, right? And y'all watching a movie, and next thing you know, this person's trying to make advances towards you sexually, right? And it might throw you off. It's like y'all was just kicking it, but all of a sudden this person trying to like is like laying it on heavy and trying to like really like trying to like, you know, flirt with you and shit like that. And you like, whoa, where'd that come from? And it's like, you don't realize it's an aura that they picked up on, but it's not necessarily saying that you're responsible for what they picked up on. You know what I'm saying? They picked up what they picked on based on what they're into. And my point was, like, Scorpios, y'all know, y'all might be deemed for being like the sexual people and, oh, you always into sex, but it's like people pick that up and put it on you as a projection. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about auras. It's an open field for projection, because no matter what, it's like people pick up the energy, especially with an energy like Scorpio, because it's, like I said before, it's a fixed water sign. So y'all in your own time be fixated on certain emotions. Y'all be deeply passionate about certain things, paying attention to things so deeply that it generates a certain energy that people pick up on, but can't quite pinpoint the logic behind it, can't quite pinpoint what it is. So they're gonna place whatever they believe is on it. They're gonna, and especially if you're in a situation with a person who's so lost into their own world, they not even really considering what you really are saying or communicating. That's why it's important for you to even know who you're around, and being able to, you know, be around people who know you. Also, it's important to be forthright with what you are on. Sometimes, like, you ain't got to disclose everything, but you need to be aware of when certain things go too far. And you need to be willing to speak up and be clear on what it is that you are doing, certain intentions that you do have. And that's the thing about ulterior motives. You might not know why you keep picking up this energy that this person is on is trying to get something from you. But if you pay attention long enough without trying to place judgment, assuming and things of that nature. And shout out to Saint Uno, because he has a video on assumptions and stuff like that. And he drops a lot of real dope videos that I believe just help you with your spiritual Rolodex, like your, you know, understanding certain things and looking at them from a different way. But so check out his channel too. But you know, when it comes to certain things, it's like if you are able to sit in that and observe without placing too much judgment or assumptions, you might be able to derive the truth from it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be willing to see. Here's the thing about reading auras. Reading auras, like I said before, they are entirely what's the right word? Deterred or persuaded by your own awareness. So the first thing you need to do is to pick up an aura correctly or accurately. To read an aura, you need to first clear your own self and separate yourself from what you're picking up on energetically. You know, sometimes people get into that empath energy and they intertwine their own awareness with what they're picking up. And see, the problem with this is whatever you come up with is going to have certain biases based upon who you are and what you're aware of. But in order to get a more accurate calculation or observation on what you're experiencing as far as picking up an aura, you have to first clear your space, and you have to be open and willing to allow certain things to again flow without any assumptions and judgments placed on it, you know, which can be difficult to do because we live in a world that is like everything in this world force you to kind of do that, like label things, box things in, all that shit. But you know, we have to have that level of, and then once you're in it, being able to discern what's you and what's them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this person must be talking bad about me because they jealous of my music and stuff like that. And it's like, this person, it's like you really just have certain thoughts and feelings about your own music, and you're trying to use anything as an excuse to make you less likely to succeed in music. You know what I'm saying? Like self-sabotaging energy. That could be like something that play out, but you caught an aura like this person was sneak dissing you and stuff like that. Like I've seen that a lot of times. Like, oh, this person sneak dissing me. This person sneak dissing me. Whole time it's like you just creating scenarios in your mind because you don't want to go in the studio. You scared to drop that single because you don't trust your own artistry. Now that's an example, but it happens every day in so many different ways. Like I said, even with sexual advances and stuff like that, people thinking, oh, you want me this way, and you want to, you know what I'm saying, you probably want to smash about that. But it's like whole time it's like, and it's again, sometimes you might be right, but it's not about those few far between. It's not about being right, few and far between. It's about how can we become better alchemists and better versions of ourselves, to where we can be accurate more 9 times out of 10 rather than the vice versa, you know, or rather than the, you know, other end of that. We can be more accurate in who we are, and then by knowing who we are, we can have more honest, truthful, open, and stronger relationships with other people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times auras keep you from, you know, some of the best relationships that you could develop, just based upon you having certain things on your mind that's keeping you blocked. And that's the thing too, like you be picking up all kinds of things, but based upon you not able to let go, you not able to clear your space, you cause friction. And see, a lot of times people will pick up an aura, then go around and create an aura for themselves, just so that they can compete with another person's aura. AKA, you think this person sneak this is you, so here you go creating an aura of you don't fuck with this person. And the whole time you started off on the wrong foot. This is I mean, I can't tell you how many times this is like the leading cause of self-sabotage, blood on your hands, all kinds of negative seeds that you plant, because that whole time and space that you on something that you think you privy to, and you building up a case, because that's a Scorpio energy. Like whenever a Scorpio peeps something but don't say nothing and they trying to sting you back, that's them building up a case against you. You know what I'm saying? So in the esoteric realm, they kind of tapping into their Libra energy and going through all the files and stuff like that, trying to get all the evidence so they can build a case on you to justify doing you dirty and shit like that. But see, a lot of times that goes it goes too far, and you end up stinging yourself. You end up creating bad karma for yourself because you just put yourself in that space. People be doing what they do in their own world that barely got shit to do with you. It might every now and then, and even if it do, you might be unclear about why. Because again, some people hurt people because they are hurt, not because they truly don't fuck with you. They're just hurt. And I'm not justifying them. I'm just saying it be what it be. You feel me? But yeah, I know this is about auras. It got kind of deep though. It's like, but this is real shit, because A lot of times that's all we're dealing with. And auras be like offsprings of individuals' golems, you know what I'm saying? Things that they create. And that's why, and again, my other point was like also being forthright, being, well, how can I say this? You need to make sure whoever it is that you are that all the time. If you are who you say you are, be that all the time. And if you can't be that all the time, you need to come to grips with yourself in reality and look at yourself in the mirror and really ask yourself who you are and get right. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, look, it's a little late to be asking who you are. Who am I? 2023. We going into 2024. That's year 8. This is year 7, 2023. And like I've been saying, 2023, this year 7 is about you tapping into your higher self. That's really your true self. But here's the thing. Going into 8, this is time. You're going to have to spend a whole lot of time in this character that you've been developing. This whole year from Aries season to now has been about character development. We in the fall time. This is your last chance to switch trajectories and get it right. Because once we hit after Sagittarius season, really once we get into Sagittarius season, everything expanded. And you might not have enough space to turn around. You know what I'm saying? Everything gonna be expanded. So you might not have enough space to pivot. It might not be enough space to pivot because everything's gonna be expanded. So lock in, you know what I'm saying, and really get clear on who you are. And the aura part is important because here's the thing. If you are authentic and genuine and you are who you say you are, when no one's looking, there's nothing anybody can bring to the light that can throw you off or put you in a bad light. Even if someone, again, and this develops into you being you and you going so hard in your own energy that no matter what aura you create and what people might pick up from it, you are always able to flip it, transmute it into something beneficial for you. That's the power of an aura when you are authentic. You always can take whatever anybody throw at you as a oh, I picked this up on you. It could be the nastiest, crazy, most scandalous thing that they done picked up from your aura. Because you always gonna have an aura, especially if you got a purpose, because you're putting a lot of energy, passion, and focus into certain things, and you're probably doing certain rituals that nobody know about, aka this could be as simple as you just the way your work ethic, which you work on before anybody knows. You know what I'm saying? You it's so much energy behind that. You know, people with purpose are the people who gravitate the most hate because they create the biggest auras. Big spirits create big auras, and people gonna pick up on that. That's why, like, again, you can't say you popular in the world if you ain't got haters and stuff like that, because you ain't creating no real aura if you ain't got people picking up on it. And chances are people are, again, we live in this demonic ass world, so people are going to be picking up on, or people are going to be lost in their own awareness of bullshit and bring it to what you do. This is why an artist like Drake could have the #1 album in the world, but if you were to look online and if say that was the only metric of how successful that dude is with music, you would think he the most trash artist in the world, how people talk about him. But you know what I'm saying? It speaks for itself. And this not my opinion on his music and shit like that. But I'm just saying, you wonder why certain celebrities get so much hate, but people love to watch them. Why is that? Or, and it's like, that gives you insight. It don't matter what people pick up on it if you're genuine though. Because if you're not genuine, this is where there be cracks and holes in the perfect picture. And this is where you do end up those people who get canceled, those people who get caught up in things, and that scandal really does put a blemish on their career, put a blemish on their status, and now you barely hear from them. Or, you know, because one ill-placed blemish can fuck up a person's whole trajectory. And we see a lot of that now, even with the Dwight Howard shit. Well, I ain't gonna say that because I ain't even following that shit enough to know. I just caught a clip on TikTok and I thought that shit was hilarious. Just the delivery of what bro was saying. But it's so true. It's like, people gotta stop saying we don't care about what people do in the dark, and that is not important, because it's very important. We care, because when it becomes an issue, people be like, or again, like I'm speaking from a spiritual level. They talk about from a more physical level, but even that, you know what I'm saying? Always, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're doing business with people, because that's going to happen. You're going to do business with people and you ain't going to know everything going on with them. But that's why we have to be more spiritually wise about what we do. This is why we change. Like, I'm trying to change business infrastructure and things of that nature on a spiritual tip, because why are you doing business with people that you aren't spiritually vibing with? Like, you aren't, like, that's not part of your tribe. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I can see if you just had somebody doing some petty work, you know what I'm saying, some busy work, or, you know, some lower level employee shit, some janitor shit. But if y'all really want to build successful businesses, it's like, we need to start doing it on a spiritual tip. Like, what if, you know, that's why I talk about that constellation business model instead of the pyramid. It's like, what if we did things more correlated to being spiritually connected before we get into any kind of business? The same thing with relationships. Guess what? We'll probably get a lot further, a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the 717 conference, the subcon creatives on vacation pop up, all the shit that I do business wise. That's my thinking. That's my ideology. It's like, let's do some spiritual shit with this. But I digress. You know what I'm saying? Much love. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.